Welcome to Radiorgonomy 101. A controversial scientist and psychologist, Dr. Wilhelm Reich. Dr. Reich was a student of famed psychoanalyst Dr. Sigmund Freud. While working in a laboratory with hay infusions, Dr. Reich sterilized a sample 7 times, and what he found would change all of his future ideas forever. Initially, Reich had thought that the bluish glow, as you can see in the upper left corner of the video, was radioactive in nature. However, he was soon to find out that this blue radiation was not abnormal whatsoever, and was a result of life processes occurring right before his eyes. This was to be the beginning of his theories on orgone energy, and what is now called chi, prana, or the life force. In order to properly understand how this works, we need to go back to Reich's model of body armoring. During body armoring, what occurs is muscle tension builds up a certain amount of kinetic potential energy within the muscle tissues. Upon release of those muscles, kinetic potential in the form of neuronal energy is released, but it has also been found that organic energy is released in the process as well. This occurs also during sexual activity upon the climax or orgasm, where orgone energy fuses with sexual energy. So, during the hay infusions, the cell wall was disrupted, and what occurred is the cell wall broke and released the genetic information from whatever the cell was before that, in this case, the hay infusion. Much like the name that Reich had chosen for his special species of bion, it was later to be called protobions. The genetically reassembled information from a once living cell that was decaying and thus reforming into a new type of life cell. The energy he saw was the result of these processes. Thus, so far, we have formed a biological and chemical basis for the formation of protobions, as well as bions according to Reich. These cells were in fact radiating this type of energy that he had discovered at the time, and so he began to construct devices in order to harness this energy. One such device was the Cloudbuster, which functioned by pulling orgone energy out of the atmosphere through the long tubes you see, and through the hoses connected in the back, which were equal or slightly less in diameter than the pipes. These were then grounded into water, which was believed to be a high conductor of orgone energy, and thus clouds and rain would soon follow. Another such device was the orgone accumulator, or ORAC. It was a simple wooden box that within its walls was constructed of several layers of wool and steel fiber. This, an insulator and an electrical conductor, would accumulate orgone charge within and propel it through the inside of the metal layer where the person was sitting. Reich was soon to discover that there were actually 3 different states for orgone energy. One was called poor or positive orgone energy, which contributed health benefits. The second was DOR, or Deadly Orgone Energy, which was the opposite, which could make a person feel malaise, fatigue, tiredness, or even just depression or an inability to carry out functions of daily living. The third state, called ORANUR, or Orgone Against Nuclear Radiation, was much more lethal in nature. While the first 2 states of DOR and POR were both fixed and static states of the energy, the second, or ORANUR, was a more dynamic and chaotic mixture of orgone energy that was very difficult to predict and could very well be deathly and cause a person to die. Thank you for joining us for the first course, Wilhelm Reich. The second course will be about another famous character in the history of radionics, T. Galen Hieronymus. Please feel free to take the test below and include your email so that I can send you a copy of your certificate of completion. Have a great day.